football fans. Welcome to the Week 4 edition of High School Lowdown, the Vicksburg Post football preview show. Our first game in the lineup this week is a Region 2-1A matchup between St. Aloysius and McAdams. St. Aloysius thumped them pretty good last year, and they're rolling right now after 2 wins in a row.
They are. It seems like St. Al's really hit their stride moving forward now. Connor Smith really played well under Sitter for the Flashes, and they just look to continue that streak of dominance that they've had over the past couple of weeks to this Friday.
Right. Started off slow, lost to Cathedral, but Cathedral looking like a juggernaut. They're the number 1 team in the state right now. Had a bad first quarter against Pisgah. In the last 7 quarters, they've outscored Pisgah and Madison St. Joe 66-7, which is pretty salty.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And like we said, it just looks like they're peaking at the right time. Maybe not peaking is the right word, but they're just finally hitting their stride.
Right, and you certainly don't want to peak too early, though. You don't want to peak in week 4.
True.
You want to wait until week 12.
Absolutely.
So, but this is an important game, region opener. You want to start off on the right foot.
Absolutely.
Next up in the rundown, we'll go to Memorial Stadium, where Vicksburg Gators will take on Indianola Gentry. Vicksburg really needs to bounce back after getting shell-shocked last week, 42-0 against Warren Central.
Yeah, they got demolished. Granted, it was by a really good team, but Vicksburg really needs to clean up the turnovers, and Coach Marcus Rogers talked a lot about that this week. They haven't played a game yet where they haven't turned the ball over at least once. So he really wants to shore that up, and he also really wants to make the spread offense system that he runs a little bit more simple for his guys.
Yeah, and last week is kind of the worst of both worlds. They had 3 turnovers in the first 6 plays, got down 21-0 4 minutes into the game. So they really need to regroup from that to put that one behind them.
Absolutely. They're just trying to put the past behind them, keep moving forward. He kept reiterating the fact that everybody's 0-0 in district play right now, and that's how they want to look at it.
Right, every week's a new game. Cliche, but it's true. So 1 loss, move on.
Absolutely.
And we go from there to we go from there to Viking Stadium across town, where Warren Central, undefeated, will take on undefeated Natchez. Both teams 3-0. Both teams kind of polar opposites. Warren Central built around defense, although they are scoring. Natchez scoring about 35 points a game, so this might be Warren Central's biggest test so far.
Yeah, this is a tale of opposites this week, like you said. And Warren Central, they're steamrolling people right now. I mean, that defense is suffocating. They have a ground and pound run game that can beat you. Then they have a serviceable quarterback that can throw it deep when they need to. I mean, it just seems like they're the whole package right now.
Right, absolutely. They're dump trucking people, haven't given up a true touchdown drive yet, to a broken play and kind of a cheapie. Warren Central also hadn't been undefeated in non-region play in 12 years. Since 2002 was the last time they went 4-0. So if they can get this, it'll be a big milestone for them.
Absolutely. You know they want it, and you know Coach Josh Morgan, he wants to just keep the train rolling right now, and that's what they look to do Friday night.
Right. And our final game in the rundown is another Natchez team coming north to play a Vicksburg team when Trinity takes on Porter's Chapel. This is a playoff game, essentially. The winner of this game will be guaranteed a playoff spot. There's only 3 teams in District 4A, so if you can win one, beat one of the other 2 teams, you're in. You win both, and you're district champs. So PCA will know by the end of next week, when they play Trinity this week, Wilkinson Christian next week, what they have to do the rest of the way to get in, whether they're in or not.
Yeah, this is a huge game for PCA, as you just said, and it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from getting beat pretty bad last week and then losing in kind of heartbreaking fashion the week before. I know we talked earlier about special teams being a big problem for them. See if they can shore up those mistakes, and also the drop passes. I mean, they've had a lot of those this year, and this is going to be a true test.
As Evan Smith once said last week, they got debacled. 40-0 against Newton, gave up 3 special teams touchdowns, 6 return touchdowns they've given up in 3 games. Yeah. Part of that was playing some young guys on special teams, trying to give the starters a rest, but Coach Wayne Lynch has said this week they're going to put some more stars in there, and they need to.
Absolutely. It'll be a tough test, and it should be a good playoff atmosphere, and this will be PCA's time to see if they can sneak in.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning into this edition of the High School Lowdown. For live scores on Friday night, check us out on Twitter at Vix Post Sports, VIX Post Sports. Check us out after the game on VicksburgPost.com for full Mississippi scores and local stories, or just pick up a newspaper at the newsstand on Saturday morning or subscribe. That's the old-fashioned way, and we appreciate it. For Corey Gunkel, I'm Ernest Boker. We'll see you next week.